Did you read the now unfortunately late David Graeber's Bullshit Jobs?
Um, I did. I actually reviewed it in the Sunday Times quite
Oh, really?
critically. Um, but, I mean, not because the underlying idea. Well, I didn't think the underlying idea was particularly original. Um, I have to say, and it was a classic example of something that should have remained as a magazine article, which is how it started life, and he just sort of padded it out and produced it. I mean, I know it's been very successful. I think that's probably partly mainly because of the title. I wonder how many people have actually read it. Um, and I was also kind of select. I think. Yeah, I think. I mean, I know this is slightly sacrilegious. Lots of people swear by him, but I thought he had a sort of slightly puerile, kind of anarcho-leftist worldview. Um, and but I mean, yeah, I mean, it's an important theme. I mean, having meaning, having a sense that you're contributing in what you do, um, I think is important. And I think one of the reasons for the rise in the number of people who feel they are in bullshit jobs is because of the sort of academicization of our whole society. Um, that no, and that and aspects of that are obviously beneficial. I mean, the fact that far fewer of us are having to slave away in the fields, planting potatoes, or far fewer of us are doing repetitive manual jobs in factories, is a great step forward. But I mean that the human division of labour is both a wonderful thing from the point of view of productivity, but a pretty deadly thing from the point of view of the quality of many jobs. And there's a sort of necessary tension there. And I think that there are always going to be quite a few jobs that will be sort of inherently dull or repetitive, or but they're probably going to decline in number. I think they've been on they were. I mean, I think Graeber's books are probably caught a sort of peak bullshit, as it were. Um, uh, and I do think this is also related to the kind of the something I talk about in Head Hand Heart, which is sort of we've reached peak head, that in the sense that more and more people have been coming out of university with academic qualifications, expecting that to lead to a high status, well paid professional job. And in many cases, increasing number of cases now, it isn't leading in that direction at all. It's leading to, and that's creating a great disappointment, which I think Graeber's book sort of taps into. That the disappointment of and many people like you, first in your family to go to university. Mind you, given how rapidly university education has been expanding, that applies to almost everybody going to university. um, and I think you end up on a sort of 22 grand a year kind of back office job when you're expecting to be, I don't know, an academic or a country doctor, or sort of something, wearing a sort of tweed suit and people deferring to your authority on something. That ain't happening. But a lot of those bullshit jobs are going to be swept away by AI. So I think we're going to be in a sort of post-Graeber world. But I think the contribution element is also one of the kind of things that's been driving populism. That sense that it's somehow only academic things, only jobs that are involved in the manipulation of information that somehow have value, and that so much else that is done is less valued. And I think a lot of people, have felt, all those sort of people in London and the big metropolitan centres who seem to earn the high incomes, and they seem to kind of all the importance seems to attach to them. And I guess one feels that particularly in sort of post-industrial areas of the country where the contribution of the South Yorkshire coalfield to to the powering of Britain was just self-evident. If you came from that area, you knew, your relatives, your area was making this great contribution to the country. And somehow over the recent decades, because of the emphasis on the kind of academic and the kind of abstract and the manipulation of information, it's all those sort of grander office jobs and the financial manipulation and that have been receiving the reward and the esteem. And I think that and that's led to a sense on the part of many people, like I say, particularly in post-industrial areas, that they're no longer contributing. And that's why I think it's important to sort of shift the emphasis back to basic jobs, manual jobs, caring jobs in particular. And these actually are going to be the kind of growth areas. The jobs that cannot be replaced by artificial intelligence or robots, or and some of these are very driving jobs. Being an HGV driver, we have a crisis of HGV drivers at the moment, because people have been led to believe these are somehow not contributing or not contributing in the way that gathers esteem. But those jobs are going to be absolutely vital still. I mean, the final delivery, the Amazon delivery person, and of course the care jobs that we still we have huge problems filling the care jobs, whether it's nursing jobs in the NHS or working in care homes. And we are going to have, we don't really have any choice. We're going to have to pay them better and give them more esteem. Having said that, I think a lot of nurses tend to have quite high esteem, and actually they're not badly paid either. It's quite a flat pay hierarchy, but so it's quite difficult for hospitals to attract nurses back once they've qualified, but have perhaps gone off and had families. And given the amount of responsibility and stress involved in a nursing job, the kind of pay for a sort of 45-year-old returnee nurse is simply not good enough, so they're not returning in the numbers that are necessary.
You can click here to watch the full interview, or you can listen to it on all the major podcasting platforms. The links are down below, or you can just search for Ideas Sleep Furiously. Thank you.